Hello everybody, my name is Kevin. I'm from Fiji, and today I'll be talking to you about the Pacific Regional Federation for Resilience Professionals. So first, I will ask you this question. Why does the Pacific need people or a body that has resilience professionals? Please think about that for a second. All right. Now I'll show you why we need this kind of people in our region. My first image is the aftermath of Tropical Cyclone Winston that hit Fiji last year. It is the second strongest tropical cyclone to make landfall in history. It killed 45 people and cost over 1.5 billion USD in damage. Our economy is only worth $4 billion. That's one quarter of our economy gone right there because of a one-day event. This next image is of the aftermath of TCPAM that affected Vanuatu in March 2015, a Category 4 cyclone. My third image is of flooding in Honiara. Honiara is the capital of the Solomon Islands and their largest city. These were flash floods. This occurred overnight. And finally, this is an image of a drought that occurred in Marshall Islands last year. It is their worst drought in recorded history. Now you can see why we need resilience professionals, because we are vulnerable to natural disasters that happen on a yearly basis. So, what is a federation? The federation will basically professionalize the resilience sector, meaning it will review the resilience sector and update the qualifications information that are put into this sector. Its membership will include everyone. When I say everyone, I mean governments, private sector, NGOs, CSOs, and anyone who wants to be involved within this particular organization. So, why was this organization formed? In the Pacific, we've developed a resilience qualification at the TVET level. So when I say resilience, it encompasses climate change adaptation and disaster risk reduction. So, for this qualification, we need a professional body to regulate this particular industry, meaning they'll review the course content and what is taught in this particular qualifications. So, when this industry came into its inception, about a year ago, it was conceived that we need an organization to actually look after the resilience profession. So, almost 1 year ago to the day, the PRFRP was formed. So, for resilience qualifications, it's important to know about climate change impacts and gain information from credible sources. This is very important. It's also important to learn from our previous lessons and mistakes, and to learn from good practices from around the region and try to implant them in different communities within the region. So, the Federation will be a place for scientists and practitioners to get together and discuss the latest advancements in science and technology, best practices, and lessons learned. So, when they get all this information together, they will decide what is relevant for the Pacific and incorporate them into our resilience qualifications. These are some of the functions of our federation. As I mentioned earlier, we'll integrate best practices. We'll have professional development, meaning we'll invest in our people, build capacities, improve skills, and also send them to conferences and meetings so they can acquire new skills that are not generic to their respective profession. We'll also support regional and global frameworks. For the Pacific, we have a framework called the Framework for Resilient Development in the Pacific. It starts this year and ends in 2030, and of course the Sendai framework. We'll also have people who are part of the Federation who work within the industry itself. We'll ensure that education and teaching standards are of a standardized measure, meaning what is taught in different countries will be the same and will be standard. We'll also certify our students, meaning when they graduate, they'll have a certificate in the resilience qualification. And qualification accreditation basically means that if you had a qualification in Samoa or in Fiji, you can work in a different Pacific island and you'll be recognized because it's standardized and everyone is adhered to the same standards being set. Also, we'll have an industry standards advisory committee. This committee are people within the industry. So they'll advise the federation of what is needed within the teaching materials. So they'll come to us and they'll say, we need more people who know about flooding because we lack the capacity and the personnel who know about flooding or tropical cyclones. So the course will then modify itself to try and cater for the need within the industry. In addition to this, we'll have a code of ethics. So a code of ethics is basically a standard code of ethics that we expect our members to adhere to. We want to represent it in the best possible way. We'll also have a registry of qualified professionals. So those who graduate with a resilience course and those members of the federation will be registered. This is the reason for this is for us to provide references to potential employers of our graduates, and also we don't want people from outside coming into the region and saying, I'm a climate change professional, I have this expertise, give me some money, I'm going to do a project. No, we don't want that. Like I said, our membership is open to anyone. The only criteria is you have to have a passion for climate change adaptation and disaster risk reduction. So it doesn't mean you are an accountant, you can be part of our federation. As you all know, financing is very important. So we need people with a finance background to help us access funds to implement our different projects. How will this all work? At the moment, the EU PAC TVET project is working to establish a federation and put a secretariat in place. So currently we have already got a constitution and registered a federation in the Solomon Islands. As for the secretariat, we're currently working on that. The project will also set up a business model for the federation. So the federation can sustain itself after our project ends. In the Pacific, there's a lot of climate change projects, there are projects, but when the project ends, everything falls apart because there's no system in place to make sure it's sustainable. We are trying to change that particular perception that a project only lasts for 4 years. When it 4 years finishes, that's it. No. This is a long-lasting, sustainable, ongoing project. If you have any more information, please come and see me or my colleague at Helen after this, or come up to our Pacific booth at the marketplace, or you can also contact our team leader, emails up there. I have about 5 minutes, so if you have any questions.
Yes, thank you. I am Tandu from Indonesia. I follow a few sessions here, and one of the focus is to involving the local community. So my question is very short. How you big the role of the local community in this your project design? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Well, it's simple. This project is focused on a community. So our members are basically community people on the ground, in the villages, in the settlements back in Fiji and the Pacific. We also try to involve community leaders because they are the ones who make decisions in the communities. And we try and liaise with them and work together so we can cater for their needs and they can help us improve the way we do our work. Because we really can't go into the community and say, you need this, you need that. No, we have to ask them, how can we help? And sort of meet halfway and help each other. It's a partnership. Is there another question? So if there's no questions, again, we have a stall at the marketplace on top. The entire region is there. Please drop by. It has a blue banner in front. You can't miss us. Renaka.